Welcome to the Lizardmen vs. Skaven battle report. This battle took place in an escalation league at one of the local game stores, and my opponent was gracious enough to allow me to take pictures. This is something that is brand new to that area, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, here is the layout for the battlefield. We have woods in the middle on each end, and we have hills on each deployment zone. In this club, often a third person sets up the terrain, or whoever is finished with their army first, and then the other player would choose side. Since we had a third person here, we rolled. It didn't really matter who ended up on what side. As you can see, we're fighting over a big open field. I'm going to make a quick comment about photos. I'm new to battle reports and I don't have the best camera, so I'm still kind of learning how to take good photos. So occasionally you'll see nice clear photos, or parts of a photo will be clear, like my skirmishers down in the lower right, and other parts of the photo will be blurry. But I think it's better than having no photos at all, so here we go. Skaven left has a clan rat unit that includes his general on the far left and the weapons team that launches the teardrop-shaped template. I'm not yet familiar with all the names of the new Skaven, so if I miss a name, I'm sorry. To its right is a unit of clan rats with a rattling gun attached, and to that right is plague monks that you'll see in the next photo. So there they are, the plague monks with that plague furnace. Truly scary item that I've seen in most of my battles against the current versions of Skaven. I've fought him maybe 6 times, and it has always given me problems. To its right is another unit of clan rats with a caster in it. This caster had warp lightning. The plague priest had plague. I don't remember their other spells because they never cast them. Then they almost never got a spell through the entire game, so their magic was fairly minimal. To their right is another unit of clan rats, no characters except for the full command champion, musician, standard bearer that all of the rat units had. Okay, the far right that I didn't show in the last slide of the Skaven had his doom wheel, and that matters because this is why I set up on my far right my Stegodon. I had placed the 2 salamanders, which are, with only one rare choice, 2 places together over here, intending to move up and spit at the large concentration of rat units, and then after that he placed the doom wheel. My Stegodon was either going to run up and cause terror tests, or most likely face off against the doom wheel. I wasn't sure depending on how that rolled, but that's why these guys are here. Okay, this is my center and left. My center has my general, who is a Scarvet, with his Saurus warriors, who are equipped with spears. They're deployed 6 wide. I've discovered taking a charge and being able to give 23 attacks with the champion plus the general is a pretty solid way to receive a charge. Next to them I have skink warriors with a Kroxiger. One of the 2 skink priests are deployed in that unit. On the hill I have my Saurus cavalry, and to the left is the skirmishing elements, the Pterodon, the 13 skink skirmishers, and the other priest. Okay, so my thoughts as this goes is that I have an army designed to hit hard in limited areas, to do a lot of damage in shooting. My Scarvet has the item that lets him cast the Steed of Shadows on himself, so I often, because his leadership is no better than most of the Saurus elements around him, I often send him off as a character hunting or war machine hunting. In this battle, that doesn't look like it's going to be as relevant. That plague priest and that unbreakable plague furnace unit, I just am going to have to ground them down if I engage them at all. He's fast enough, I don't think I can avoid engaging him. So the goal here is to try to crush his left flank the best I can and pile on the plague priest, and I'm going to largely ignore the right flank if my salamanders and Stegodon can keep him busy. So turn 1 for Skaven. He does not move his general's unit at all. The doom wheel rolls well. You can see it's over halfway across the table, closer to my units than his, so he is able to shoot this round. The shooting is largely ineffective. His magic is also all dispelled I have 4 defense dice. He has a total of 7 casting dice. He does like to cast the dreaded 13. That was one of his other spells, and he wasn't able to get anything off. He blew a couple rolls to cast, and my 1 scroll was enough to shut down his magic most of the time. The shooting was not effective really much at all either, so he's mostly just moving up. My first turn, my salamanders come in to get ready to start spitting at that big mess in the middle. The pterodons fly up and prepare to go drop rocks. This turn they're going to throw javelins at that rattling gun, trying to eliminate it. And I have an oblique line. I believe I'm just out of charge range, but I'm going to force him to move up and then hopefully hit either his clan rat unit or his plague priest unit with 2. And unless he's careful, I will get a flank charge on that. Skirmishers move up. My shooting this round, I do actually land some of the salamanders teardrop shape over the rats and kill a few, and was thinking, yay, now you need a break test, and then remembered a panic test, and remembered he's unbreakable. So all I did was kill a monk or 2. So the first turn's over and not a lot happened. My Stegodon takes a shot with at the doom wheel and missed, and I'm just basically hoping he doesn't roll above average. I think I'm about 12-13 inches away, so if he doesn't roll too well, he won't hopefully get there this turn and I'll be able to charge. However, that's not how it works out. Skaven turn 2, you can see the doom wheel does get all the way up and slams into my Stegodon. I expect to lose that fight because of the impact hits and etc., but I'm stubborn, so hopefully I'll stand. Everything else moves up. I think he was more concerned than he needed to be about my flying cav. I don't know why he let that clan rat group hang so far back, but it ends up being pretty critical. My cavalry that you can see at the very edge of the picture, when we put down the 45-degree angle marker, I could in fact see the side of the plague monk unit. That plague furnace is so long, the back end of that was clearly in view, and I believed I would get a charge off on that. His shooting doesn't do anything, mostly because he kept pushing the rattling guns. He'd roll his 2 or 3 dice and either get a miscast, which almost always, or get a malfunction because he'd get the doubles. And he kept pushing it every time. He only, I think, was satisfied with the number of hits he rolled once. He kept getting to spin wildly, and it didn't matter how many units were around the guy that spun wildly. When he rolled the random direction the shots go, it always managed to slide in between, around, or by units without hitting anything. So it was actually pretty funny. Shooting did a little bit more. So here I am hoping that my Stegodon will hold on, and it doesn't. He grinds all of the crew off, does 3 or 4 wounds to the Stegodon itself, and my stubborn roll ended up being 5-5-4 or something like that. So nothing in the army would have stood with that roll, and he ran it down and crushed it. So now he has a unit that can spin in place before it charges in my back lines, and this is not a good thing. Okay, I went back to this picture so I could describe what happened on the far left. I did not have photos of it, unfortunately, but my unit of pterodons, when his unit didn't move at all, decided to fly up and over there to kill off the weapons team. Now, during his turn of shooting, which happened right after this, he killed 2 of those pterodons. So I only had 2 left. They did pass their panic test. So they fly up on my turn to and fly over the weapons team that general's clan rat unit on the far left back had, and my skirmishers, who, if you remember, were to the left of the cavalry, move up basically in front to get some more shots. I'm figuring I'm going to start trying to scrub. I don't expect to kill them off, but if I can scrub a rank or 2 and lower the leadership, that's of value. The other thing I'm going to do by flying up just over and behind that is march block that unit. That succeeds. I do wipe out the weapons team. And drop the 2 rocks on it and get a couple wounds in the shots over there.